Hello, today we're making Biscochitos. This is our last class and we thought we'd do something very traditional New Mexican. So Biscochitos was the choice and here we are. So let's get started. This is a pretty easy recipe. There are a couple steps and I'm going to walk you through just about everything. So we're going to begin with our dry ingredients, and over here I have 3 cups of flour. And into my 3 cups of flour I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So you want to mix that in real well, and you're going to add your salt, which is about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is just our dry ingredients. After the salt, add your orange peel, and I'm using dried orange peel today, so I have about 1 teaspoon in there. If you have fresh, all the better. I just didn't happen to have fresh. So there we are. That's our dry ingredients. We're going to put that aside because that's going to go into the butter mixture in a minute. Speaking of the butter mixture, this is a recipe that's traditionally made with lard, but I'm using butter. You're going to do 1¼ cups of butter, which is 2¼ sticks. Or 2½ sticks, sorry, 2½ sticks. And you have to beat it, and you can see I've already done that. I wanted it nice and fluffy, and I thought I'll get that step out of the way because my mixer's a little bit loud. To the butter, we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. So I'm going to mix that in right now. A little bit of energy here. Okay. There we go. And now, looks like the sugar's mixed in. I'm going to add 1 egg, but I don't want to do that while my beaters are going. And I'll also just add the teaspoon of vanilla at this point. So these cookies have quite a bit of flavoring. The other flavor that is the most important part we'll get to in just a second. So let me mix this in. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to add the flour mixture, the dry to the wet, and on top of that I'm going to add the 3 teaspoons of anise seed that I have manually ground. You don't want to put the whole seed in there. That just wouldn't be great. But boy, when you start grinding this is the magic ingredient. This is the secret ingredient, the magic ingredient. You can't skimp on that. It smells so good. You get that licorice smell in the kitchen. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix this up, and I'm going to actually just set this aside for a second because this will take a while to mix. And I already have some already blended for you. So let me bring it over. This is what the dough will look like when you're done. It's going to be, it's like a shortbread. So it's not going to be super creamy. It should look just like this. Once you get it to this point, which is mixing it for, it'll be a couple of minutes. You're going to take it and shape it into a disc like this and wrap it in wax paper like so. Make sure it's sealed and refrigerate that for about 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in and grab one that I've already been chilling. I'm going to bring this one out. Here's my disc chilled for 30 minutes. And you're going to roll this out and start cutting out cookies. So I use a Silpat, and this is a silicone mat underneath and then I don't need extra flour. I kind of like that because I don't have to use too much flour. And I cheat a little bit with the wax paper. It just keeps the rolling pin from sticking. Now you're going to roll this out. You can see all the anise seed in it. Can you get a close-up of that? It's really beautiful. It gives it all this wonderful, wonderful flavor. So you're going to roll it to about 1/4 inch thick. And when you get to that point, let's see if I got it there. I'm going to look. This side seems a little bit fat. But I'll get one edge at least to 1/4 inch so I can make a couple of cookies. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so then you're going to take it and you're going to start cutting your cookies. And here we go. So I'll put these on a baking dish. Another Silpat, my silicone mats. I don't know what I'd do without them. So you're going to put the cookies just like that. Oh, that's perfect. Put the cookies on the mat. You're going to bake these in a 350 degree oven. And the recipe said 10 to 12 minutes. I baked my last batch for about 14. So finish filling all that out. You're gonna have probably about a dozen cookies on a sheet. Bake for anywhere from 10 to 14 minutes. It's something you need to watch for, depending on the thickness of your cookie. So I'll put those in a minute. This is one of the batches that I got out, and this is how they look. Now, when you bring it out, keep it on the tray for 10 minutes. Don't even think about taking them off. They'll just break. They're a very delicate cookie because there's a lot of butter in these. They're very, very delicate. So let them cool for the full 10 minutes. Don't skimp on that. And then what you're going to do is put them in your cinnamon and sugar, and I seem to have misplaced my spoon. You're going to put them in cinnamon and sugar. It's about a cup of sugar to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And you're just going to kind of cover the cookie, shake it off, and set it on your tray. And voila, there are your Biscochitos. And I don't even need to taste one in front of you because I already ate one. And they're wonderful. So have a great time making these, you guys, and I'll see you Thursday at 4.